Hey, I'm Alex Rackle from Board Game Co, and this is your news and week in review, although it will be a very light news and week in review. The nature of the holiday season means there's nothing going on. There's nothing really happening right now. Everyone's taking a break. Everyone's relaxing. In fact, we've missed the last 2 week in reviews. I mean, we didn't skip them. They were intentional misses because we've been doing the top 100 games of all time series, and so for the past 2 weeks, we haven't had a week in review, which is very rare for me. I usually don't skip those even when I'm doing the top 100. Going for slightly different scheduling this year. In fact, next year as well, might see some small changes in how I do things. I don't know fully what those will look like. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. I will always play it by ear along with everything else. We'll just figure it out together. But in any case, this is your news and week in review. We're going to focus a little bit on the schedule for the past week. We're going to talk about the games I covered this past week, which is just Primal. And then I'll go into some personal things, some things I've been doing just to keep myself occupied, some things, well, I mean, there's so many things to keep myself occupied, but some of the things I've been doing in the background for fun that are not the kinds of things that show up on the channel. I'll just tell you what I've been watching, what video games I've been playing, some stuff like that. We'll go into all of that. And then I'll talk about some of the games that I've been playing more recently as well, even if they're not being showcased on the channel. That's what today's week in review is going to look like, because I hope that you're enjoying your time off if you have it. I hope you get time off next year if you didn't have it this year. And I hope you've just generally been all around having a good holiday season, whether it's friends, family, or even by yourself. There's so many things that you could enjoy. I hope you're getting to enjoy some of those things. Let's go and dive into our news and week in review. News section is off to the side. There is no news to cover this week. There was some stuff like a few weeks ago, but by now it's all kind of shifted into the news cycle. I don't know, there's nothing currently has me excited at the moment. There is that Massive Darkness 2. They announced that was coming out, so there's a page over for that, the pre-launch page on that. There's Hearts of Irons coming out. There's games coming out in the news category, but not a ton of things currently in this moment right now. As far as the Creator Spotlight, we'll be back with that next week, because again, this week I'm kind of taking it easy because there's so little going on, so we'll dive into the schedule of the week. What videos did we have this past week? The top 100. We've been doing the top 100 for the past 10 days in a row, basically. There were like a few intermediate videos. There was a gift video I did, top 10 gift ideas. Probably too late for some of you. Although that Gravitrax set that I showed, oh my gosh, we're going to come back to that soon. That was... we're going to talk about that soon, but in this video, we're going to talk about it. Past that, it's been the top 100. We had a video on Primal going up this past week, and then top 100, top 100, top 100. There was a live video somewhere there where I did a little bit of a live Q&A, like I try to do on a weekly basis. Usually end up doing semi-weekly or so. Past that, yesterday we had the deluxe games. We had a video for deluxe games video, whatever. Our usual board game upgrades and deluxifications, covering things like a little bit of Primal, actually, Last Light, Star Wars Unlimited, a whole bunch of various board game upgrades and stuff. You can check that out. I also had the Where Are They Now for the month of December. This is a regular monthly series I do where I talk about the games I played a year ago and 5 years ago and talk about how those games are holding up over time. So if you want to check that out, well, that was yesterday's video. You can check those two videos out. As far as the games I covered this week on the channel, there's only been the one. We had another Primal challenge over here going through, was it Corrin? Playing against Corrin Steals Christmas. Another Primal challenge, which I personally thought was more amusing than it had any right to be because of some things that happened in the video. But overall, we did, well, I'm not going to tell you how we did. You can watch the video. We either won or lost because that is how these Primal challenges tend to go. So check that out if you want. Which brings me to, because we've kind of covered, like that is the stuff. I mean, I guess technically I can tell you the videos coming up next week. There will be a bunch. There might be upcoming crowdfunding because, well, if there actually are enough campaigns, we'll have upcoming crowdfunding. There's going to be a bunch of videos going up, some around some games. Master of the Universe is going to be going up this next week. There'll be an unboxing for Clank Legacy, a whole bunch of assorted videos as the week shakes out and settles down. I believe later in the week we're doing the board game purge, the games leaving my collection end of year purge should be later this week, I think, because I want to do it before the end of the month, so hopefully those will go up. We'll see how that goes. So that's kind of a little bit of a taste of the videos that are going up later this week. The videos going up today, I forget what's going up today. There might be a Clank unboxing today. It might be actually, the Clank unboxing might be today. And then maybe Agent Avenue, that might be the other one going up today. I forgot to take notes on that part, so that's not here, even though it should be. So what's been going on past that? What are some things I've been doing? Because I just thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the things that have been going on in the background. First of all, I talked about Star Wars Gravitrax. I mentioned I'd be coming back to that. Star Wars Gravitrax is awesome. I'm having a surprising amount of fun. Like when I covered it in my games leaving the collection, not that's true. When I covered it in my board game gifts video, I talked about it loosely because I had played Gravitrax and the Star Wars one looked cool, but there was a reason it only got like a small minor appearance because I was keeping it in its gift form so that I can go ahead ahead and give it to my kids for Hanukkah and see how it played. And so I kind of was like, Gravitrax is cool, and here's Star Wars Gravitrax. But I couldn't really get into it because I hadn't really experienced it. But I and my kids have been having so much fun with it. It's a surprising amount of fun, and it's fairly reasonably priced. I mean, reasonably priced is obviously a large discrepancy as far as where things can be, but it's available like Target for like $80. It's not a crazy amount, and it gives you a lot of components. Like a lot of Gravitrax stuff is in that set. This is an excellent starting gateway point to the Gravitrax system, and it's Star Wars themed for that additional little level of fun. My kids have been loving it, really building out these massive marble sets and whatnot, which both have a visual aspect as well as just little gizmos and gadgets. It is surprisingly fun. Again, I've played with Gravitrax before and I knew I liked it, but I don't think I ever had a larger set. I think I started with like a very small promo set, and this is actually a full, like a good baseline starting experience. You can obviously go crazy and get a whole lot more stuff, which I probably do recommend. But that's basically what's been going on with Gravitrax. Star Wars Gravitrax, I definitely recommend it even more than I did in that last video. Outside of that, in the video game side of things, some of you may know if you've watched my videos enough that I tend to get sucked into Factorio, but I specifically have not played Factorio in like a month at this point. A month-ish, 3 weeks, something like that. It's just that I need to be mindful about where my time goes, and when I play Factorio, I get sucked in a little too much. Factorio is one of those games where I'm like, I'll play for half an hour. And then 4 hours later, I'm like, I have work to do. And I can't let that happen too much. So I kind of took a semi break from Factorio. I'm still in the middle of it. For those of you who are following Factorio Space Age, I've finished is a relative term. I've done the first planet, and I've done two other planets? Now I'm bothered. Did I do 2 other planets or 3 other planets? I think there only are 3 other planets. I've done 2 of the other planets. So I've done Factorio, the base planet, and then 2 of the other planets. The one with the giant worms and the one with the separate little islands. And I'm basically done at that point with those, and I'm about to go ahead and travel to the 3rd planet. But that's the point where I was like, you know what? Before the 3rd extra planet, the 4th planet total, before I do that, I'll just take a break. So that's where Factorio is right now. Still love it. I just cannot log in, because if I log in, I will get sucked back into it. And so instead, I've been bypassing my time with my video game time, which usually my video game time for me is like about a half hour each day. I usually time it with my afternoon coffee, or it's a half hour each day until I go into Factorio and play for 3 hours. But I usually time it with my afternoon coffee. I'm like, afternoon coffee time, sit down, open a video game, and just have a little fun. That's how I got through the whole Spider-Man recently. I've been playing video games with my daughter a little bit here and there as well, although that's usually not during coffee time. But outside of that, the current video games I've been playing right now I've been playing Steam Heist, the first one. Steam had a sale on it for like $2, so I've been interested in Steam Heist 2, but I was like, you know what, this is $2, I'll start here. Steam Heist is kind of fun. I'm only just a few levels into it, so I haven't yet gotten to like the parts that really will develop, but I am intrigued enough to continue playing it for right now. And for $2, I mean, it can't be that bad of a cost. So either way, I'm enjoying Steam Heist right now, but I've been playing more frequently. I've been playing a lot of Stronghold. My half-hour day is usually like, I'll log in and play another mission. I bought Stronghold Definitive Edition. There's a sale for like $7.50. All my video games, whenever I buy video games, almost always, not always, but almost always, it's based on me seeing the video game go on sale for a low enough price that I'm like, fine, I'll grab that. I just put them all on my wish list, and I buy them when they're like anywhere from 80% off to sometimes 50%, depending on how much I want the game. But Stronghold Definitive Edition, there's times when I buy them at full price. Factorio, I bought at full price because I'm obsessed with that. But most of the time, I just wait. I'm patient. There's always video games I got to play anyway. But either way, Stronghold Definitive Edition, that I've gone back into it. I'm currently replaying through the initial starter missions. I'm up to like mission 14 or something like that. It's fun. It's the same little cycle each time, but it kind of takes what I like about Factorio and it isolates it into a single session that's 30 to 45 minutes, as opposed to being completely sucked in. So it's much more manageable in that sense, and less overall addictive. So I've been enjoying that, playing like a mission a day or a mission every other day for the past few weeks. Then there's Hearthstone. I just got back into Hearthstone. This is partially inspired by the fact that I got into Lorcana with my daughter recently, and I plan on getting into Star Wars Unlimited properly with my son. So I was like, you know what? It's a good opportunity to get into Hearthstone and see either my kids will get into it as well with me, because I'm enjoying like they're in that kind of CCG or just card game phase in general. So I think a combination of digital and physical could work out well for more quality time, plus another excuse to play Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a great game. I've sunk hundreds of hours into Hearthstone, and it is one that I come back to, although I've never fully stuck with it. Whenever I come back to it, I've never really stuck with it the way I did initially when I first played it. I have tried playing a little Marvel Rivals. I haven't gotten sucked into it the way I got sucked into Overwatch. I should like it as much as I do Overwatch, but honestly, I kind of like Overwatch more, at least so far. That said, I've played Marvel Rivals for like 3-4 hours, so I haven't like really allowed myself to get sucked into the system. I just am not I don't know. I don't know what it is. I like the characters in Marvel Rivals more, but I think I like the animation in Overwatch more, and just overall, I prefer the Overwatch system so far, but I am open to that being changed if I give it enough time, which I haven't done yet, because again, these other games have been taking my time instead, like Hearthstone and all that. Hearthstone is great. I'm gonna give Hearthstone a little time. My kids may or may not get into it. If they do, then Hearthstone will be sticking around for a while. If not, it'll be another temporary jump back in while we wait to see how things settle. So that's kind of the video game side. I mentioned Lorcana. I've been getting heavily into Lorcana with my daughter, really enjoying that. It's been a fun experience getting sucked into a TCG, LCG, whatever they are, not LCG, TCG, CCG, with my daughter and enjoying it. We're not going completely crazy, but we are doing all of it. We're getting cheap boosters on eBay. Someone actually, a viewer of the channel, is actually nice enough to send in a bunch of Lorcana that their family was done with. I bought her a booster pack, a bunch of booster packs so she could have the fun of opening boosters. Because I'm usually more logical, so I'm usually like, okay, great, let's get cheap commons and uncommons, and then buy the cards you need to fill out the decks as you need them, and don't put $80 cards in your decks. That's usually how I operate from a, more logical, thrifty way to approach Lorcana. But there is something fun about opening boosters. So I did get her a bunch of boosters just because you can have that experience over the holidays. And it is fun. It is fun to, it's fun, all of it. All of it's fun. It's fun to build decks. It's fun to go through it with her. We've been playing through Ursula's, the Luminaire's Quest, the one that you basically cooperatively take down Ursula. I've been enjoying that, as well as playing competitively and enjoying that. Both have been a delightful experience. She's getting sucked into it. Building a deck is like a new concept for her. She's never really had to do that. So Lorcana has been quite an enjoyable experience to go through with her. As far as outside of that, there's things I've been watching. The main thing I've been watching recently has been Amazon's Secret Level. Speaking of all these video game stuff, basically, Amazon's Secret Level. I just finished the last episode today, actually. I went through all 15 episodes, and they vary in how good they are. Easily the worst one is like the Counter-Strike-ish one, whatever, the more modern transport. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but it just was kind of boring. Easily the best one, at least for me, was the Warhammer one, the Warhammer 40K Space Marines. The Space Marines, that's what it was. That's what I mean. The Space Marines was easily the best one for me. Incredible visuals, incredible everything, the tempo, everything about it was amazing. But there were some pretty solid ones across the board. Most of them are pretty decent. I would say, with the exception of that one that is the worst one, the rest of them range from good to very, very good. I actually really liked the New World episode, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, featuring Amazon's New World show. I thought that was tongue-in-cheek, hilarious, good overall points. But across the board, it was some really solid episodes, really enjoyed it. Highly recommend checking out Secret Level, especially if you are someone who plays video games. And even if you're not, there's some really good episodes that make you think. There's that one that's, I don't even know what it's based on. It's based on this app MMO game, but it's all about playing Go if you watch the episode. And I think it's episode 13, maybe. I think it's episode 13, but it's really thinky and a little trippy, and I enjoyed it. Overall, a great set of things to watch. I recommend checking out Amazon's Secret Level. And then lastly, I've started Arcane again because season 2 came out. I don't remember enough about season 1, and season 1 was good enough that I started Arcane again. So that's why I currently am up to, and we'll see what else I get to binge or watch later. Also, Wicked's amazing. Separately from that, Wicked's amazing. Go see Wicked. It's great. I think Wicked is really, really well done. The movie, not there's no TV show. Anyways, that's basically the non-board game. Oh, last thing, before we get into board games, I've also been assembling some Marvel United inserts from One Sharp Joe. They're very cool. I've had them for a bit and have just been deprioritizing them because I've been doing so many other things, and I've been doing a little bit of catch up in the holiday season, and assembling those inserts has been one of the nice things to get caught up on and get a little bit ahead on, and they're really, really cool, which is great because my Marvel United Multiverse has been kind of just sitting in the back room waiting for it to be properly organized, and now it's actually getting organized, which is such a nice feeling. Which brings us to the games. The games I've been playing. A mixture of light and heavier games. I've been playing a lot of Da 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 from the Op. It's been a great game that my kids have really taken to. I played it actually with my game group and with my kids. My game group thought it was really, really fun, but also we didn't dive back into it more. We were like, this is really kind of better than we thought. And then we played other games. And my kids have been like, this is so much fun. And we've been playing a lot. I've played I don't know, 8 or 9 games of Da Da Da, which is, it's a decent amount for this little silly, stupid party game. But it's all about creating language. I really enjoy it. Flip 7 has been a consistent party game we go to as well, along with Trio. Those are consistent ones in the house. Past that, there's Urbion. I've been diving into solo, playing a bunch of games of Urbion. I still have 1 or 2 more modules to play through, but it's the newest game in the Oniverse that I've been diving into. And then Shuffle Shuffleboard has been another light, consistent one that always gets tabled and is always enjoyed. On the heavier side, I have been playing a bunch of things as well. Primal has been getting a bunch of plays. Iridia has been getting a lot of table time as I slowly go through it. One Stop Co-op Shop I saw put out their initial thoughts. I haven't actually watched the video. I probably should. I am curious what he thinks of it. There's Wondrous Creatures, which I've been getting a bunch of plays of that in. Review coming soon. And then Conscious Mind, which I've gotten a few plays in and need to play more, but I want to play through some of the expansion stuff before I talk more about it. So that will be coming up as well. And that is basically some of the lighter and heavier games I've been playing recently. That's your week in review. That's kind of what I got for you right now. We'll probably be somewhat back on schedule next week. Again, I do find the end of the year follows this ebb and flow that is very different from the normal structure of how things are. And I don't mind going with that. I don't mind adjusting and just going with the flow, seeing how things are. But I assume the week in review will be back in its regular pacing for the next few weeks. I also should note, I probably should do a full video on this. I'll do a full video on this next week, but Level Up Retreat. Level Up Retreat is going to be January 31st to February 2nd, I want to say. I think those are the dates. You can check out the website. But if you have been considering going to Level Up Retreat, you should definitely go ahead and check out sooner rather than later. We are capping attendance at 500 this year, and I don't know exactly where we are. I think we still have like 100-ish tickets left, but I do know from past years that in the last month is when most of the tickets sell. So I'm unsure if it'll sell out this year or not, but it does seem to be trending that way, at least so far. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I appreciate you as always. I hope you have an excellent week, and as always, I hope you have a good one.